Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to our final call in our Gold Mastermind series. I'm Michelle Stuchel, Sapphire, and I'm here with my dear friend, April Rush, Diamond Ambassador. And we just really want to start out by saying how grateful and humbled we are to be serving you guys and our teams in the future and your teams by leading you in this Mastermind series. And we really hope and pray that you have been taking the time to digest this information and put it into practice, because it really isn't how much you know that makes you wise or makes a difference. It's taking what you know and putting it into practice. That's what makes the difference. And we have something very exciting that we're going to talk about at the end of the call about what our next step is after this. Because this is the last Gold Mastermind call, and we're not going back right away to Gold Coaching. We've got something else for you that's going to allow you to put into practice what we've been talking about for the past 3 or 4 weeks. So buckle your seatbelts. We're going to jump right in. And we know that you're here because you want to build your business, right? You want to grow your business. You all have goals. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on a Monday night on President's Day. You want to build a sustainable, thriving business. And so we've talked about your belief, the belief that you have. 80% of this business is mindset and belief. And to the day I die, you will hear me talking about mindset is the key to your entire life. This was God's idea to begin with, right? As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. And those with the highest belief have the strongest businesses, and those with the strongest businesses have the strongest belief. So you need to, on a daily basis, be fueling your belief. Remember, in 3 areas: belief in our products, belief in network marketing, and belief in yourself. Okay. And then there are skills. And we know that every living, breathing soul on this planet needs our products. Everybody has a gut. Everybody has blood. Everybody needs their blood sugar regulated. And by virtue of where we live in our culture, we need supplements to fill in the gaps, right? Everybody needs them. But the difference between having a well-compact business and earning a nice prize here or there and gaining financial freedom and becoming a jewel and financial freedom, I should say, is the skill, mastering the skill of duplication and leadership. You want your goal to gain financial freedom and to grow a sustainable business is to find 4 to 6 business builders that want this as much as you do. And we talked about this last week, right? You don't just find these people, you create and develop them. This is the skill of duplication. And it doesn't matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert. It doesn't matter if you're a 1 on the Enneagram or a 9. It doesn't matter if you're an ENFJ or an INFP. You can learn this skill. And if you were on the training on Saturday morning, Brittany and Christina talked about that very skill, and I brought it back together at the end to say, you can do this. You can, but you are going to have to do the heavy lifting with your mind and then learn the skill of duplication. Okay. And we've already talked a lot about this. So let's go on to the next step. You have to be crystal clear who it is you're looking for. And please learn from me. I spent years of my business dragging and believing the best about everybody. Because here's the thing, this business can be for everybody. Everybody and anybody can learn these skills and do this, but not everybody will. So you need to be crystal clear who it is you're looking for. Now, before we get into what it is, the characteristics of who you're looking for to link arms with. Now, remember, 80% of your points, 75% of your points are going to come from happy product users, but most of your points are going to come from just a few legs. And I've heard it said, anyway, you want 4 to 6 business builders and you're going to create them. Okay. So in mind, you are looking to develop business builders. So you present the opportunity to everybody, every single person, but you need to have a picture in your mind's eye of what these people look like. Because if you just cast your net wide for whoever and shall come, guess what? You will be floundering forever. John Maxwell said this: the quickest way to have a team full of leaders is, drum roll please, go find leaders. Go find leaders. Now, picture this. We're just coming out of winter, right? Sometimes these leaders are hibernating. They've been taking a nap. And they're kind of scrawny because it's been a long winter. And they need someone to tap them on the shoulder and remind them of who they really are. Remind them of their potential. Call out their potential. Tell them what you see in them and what's possible. Because some of these leaders on your team don't even know there's another way, but they are stuck in survival mode, hibernating, and they need you to come and wake them up out of a dead sleep of survival to show them that there is another way. That is your ability and your privilege. And that's what casting vision is. Remember, you are going to be casting vision over and over and over and over and over again. My vision tracker sheets, I started them out. Now, believe me, I've cast vision for more. I've got like 5 of these sheets. Last week, I sent 75 vision casting messages out, reminding people of their potential. But you have to do that over and over and over again just to get to the conversation, right? But that's your job. So do not prejudge. You cast seed. But let me tell you, there are some people I'm going to cast seed to a lot more often than others. And this is what they look like. And you may have a different demographic. You may have a different niche, like Lucy, she's Hispanic. She knows people in Mexico. Maybe she's going after the Mexican market. Leah is a military mom with a special needs child. Maybe she's going after military moms and special needs moms, or maybe people that were in the corporate world, right? Maybe Syra's going after fitness gurus and health nuts. Maybe Caitlin is going for pastors' wives. Your niche may look different, right? I mean, I'm an older demographic, right? Your niche may look different. Maybe Rachel's going after teachers, but here are the qualities that I look for. And if you keep these qualities in mind, it will prevent you from dragging, okay? Number 1, integrity and character. This has got to be the foundation. If somebody, you can teach skill, you can awaken hunger, you can, call people to get out of their sleep about getting uncomfortable. But if they don't have integrity and character, I will not link arms and build. Because when I invest in somebody, Leah and I do life together. Angela and I do life together. Deirdre and I do life together. This is an investment of my life. And I want to know that this person has the same moral compass and can hold the weight of where we are going. They have to have integrity and character, AKA, are they coachable? Do they do the right thing when no one's looking? Are they honest? Are they humble? Are they willing to learn and grow? Did I say, are they coachable? Let me say that one again. Are they coachable? Do they have a moral compass? Character and integrity, first and foremost. Number 2, I look for fruitfulness. Okay, now listen. This is why you don't prejudge. A tree can be fruitful even if it's got 99 brown sticks and one piece of fruit. I just need to know that there's fruit somewhere, that there's life somewhere on this tree. I'm going to borrow this from Genevieve. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? I need to see some area of success in this person's life. They don't have to have tons of money, but somewhere I need to see that they have fruitfulness somewhere. Their kids, their marriage, their church, something there's life, because you will judge a tree by its fruit. Always. Jesus said it, I believe it. There's got to be fruit somewhere. If this person's marriage are wrecked, their kids are, SpongeBob on steroids, they're in debt out there to the wahoo, they can't keep a job and they're on 6,000 medicines and they won't talk to their parents and they've been divorced 18 times. Not who I'm looking to build with. Now, let me contrast that with the woman who's divorced, that's working 2 jobs, whose kids, they may have some discipline issues because she's not there all the time, but she is working her tail off. She's hungry for change and she's constantly doing the right thing. 100%. 100%. Or the mom who's stuck in survival mode, but her marriage is thriving and she's a volunteer at the church. 100%. I need to see fruit. Okay. Does that make sense? Fruitfulness in some area of life to know that we can get more, because then you can start working with them and you prune them, or let God prune them. You work with them, cultivate, and you'll get more fruit, right? Okay. Next one. Oh, dear Jesus, this is what I'm looking for. Someone who's self-motivated. Leaders are self-motivated. Leaders are busy people. My kids are going to start yelling at me because they say when I get excited, I get really loud. Oh, I want to get loud about this one. Because leaders are already busy. When someone, and we'll talk about this later in the objections. Do we have this one listed, April? I think we do. We don't have time. Leaders by nature see issues and problems, and they are part of the solution, so they get involved. They are self-motivated. They see something and they will do something about it. They have a work ethic. They know what hard work is like. And generally speaking, they're looking to take things off of their plate because they know that they already have a lot going on. Nobody has to tell them, make something of your life, because they're self-motivated to do that. They're hungry. Next one, they're hungry for change. They're hungry for change. They want more. Now remember, they may be hibernating. You may have to gently wake them up and say, tell me, what are those dreams? If your life was the same today as it is, and if your life in 5 years is exactly the same as it looks today, would that be okay with you? Well, no. You've awakened them. Are they hungry for more? Quite frankly, I don't really want to work with somebody who's not hungry, because they're not going to have the fuel to go the distance. I mean, my core value is more. Are they hungry for change? Do they want more, or are they satisfied with Netflix, popcorn, and sofa life? I need my products, but I'm not looking to build with them. Are they growth minded? Do they want to improve? Do they want to learn? Now, a lot of you are like, oh, shoot, I've heard this, because a lot of people didn't read when they came into this, right? Or they didn't listen. But when you touch that in them, something awakens in them. Yes, I want to grow. And hunger for change, hunger for more, and being growth minded are flip sides of the same coin, right? Because generally speaking, when you want more, you're going to learn to figure out how to get it, right? Okay. And they're willing to get uncomfortable. Now, this is something that you may not necessarily see on the surface, but when you see and tap into that hunger, you'll watch their feet and see that even though something makes them uncomfortable, they're willing to do it because they want their more than they want their comfort. And I hope we can say the same thing about each and every one of you. And listen, I'm preaching to myself because I have to get uncomfortable every single day. About 6 months ago, when I was on a coaching call with Brittany, and we we're trying to troubleshoot, what's preventing me from sapphire to diamond, she said, Michelle, I really think it just comes down to you getting uncomfortable every day. And she was right, because I love to coach. I love to train. If you haven't noticed, I like to talk. I could do this all day long, but that's not going to grow my business. You got to get uncomfortable each and every day. So, character, integrity, fruitful, self-motivated, hungry for change, and willing to get uncomfortable. And you cannot prejudge. So you cast the seed to everybody, but as you narrow in what this person looks like, guess what? Whatever you focus on expands. And do you know how when you buy a white car, all you see on the road is white cars? You start creating that picture in your mind of what your business builders looks like. Guess what? You're going to start finding them. And then you're going to start speaking to their potential and waking them up from hibernation. Okay, so we've talked about the process. We've talked about what they look like. And I need you to really take some time to think about what your person looks like, okay? Qualities, okay? And we've talked about the process of duplication, right? And the process of casting vision. And then we create and develop them. And it takes that process of planting seeds, right? Now, remember the parable of the sower. And even Brittany talked about this the other day. And I think I even made a live on this like a year ago in the team page. Look, even Jesus talked about he scattered all the seed and only got 25% back. Not bad, right? You got to cast all the vision. You do your part and trust God that he's going to do his part. But you're not going to get any fruit unless you scatter a whole bunch of seed. And then that will bring forth the conversation. And then the conversation is where they will tell you what they're thinking. And I'm pretty sure that's where you're going to hear, yeah, but I'm not a salesperson. Yeah, but I just don't have time. Yes, but I'm an introvert. And it's the same result of the magic question. You know what I'm talking about. If you love these products, would you be telling people about them? Yes, but type in the chat. What is the goal of that question? Yes, to hear their objections so you can answer them. So you can answer them. So now we're going to talk about how to answer objections. And these are your friend because they give you insight into what they are thinking, where their lack of belief is, so that you can flip the narrative and help them see a different way. And now April's going to start us off about how do we handle objections.
Thank you, Michelle. So powerful. I think my favorite was the SpongeBob on steroids. Okay, so first of all, I want y'all to be able to soak this in. So the lovely Michelle has created a handout, which we're going to be posting in the group for everyone to reference. So here's the thing though, y'all. When we are handling objections, we not only need to handle them, we need to help people overcome them, right? There's a difference between, oh yeah, I handled that objection versus I helped her to overcome that objection. And it's often, y'all, a long-term process, right? Just like we're planting those business seeds, we're also planting, hey, you do have time. Hey, you're not going to be salesy. Hey, it doesn't matter that you feel like you have a small network, right? So what Michelle and I did is we split up the top 9 or 10 objections that we get specific to the business, and we are going to share the secret sauce, the wording that we use. Okay. Now, here's the thing though, there isn't a one way to handle these objections, to help people overcome these objections. So just because you're hearing me say it one way and then Michelle say it a different way, that's okay. There's many different ways. Okay. So starting out with the big one, I don't have time, right? Now, here's the thing, y'all. First of all, just like Michelle said, we're looking for busy people. We're looking for people who are not looking for us, right? We're looking for people who are already successful. We're looking for those people. Why? Because they have their hands in many things and they often balance it well, right? Now, when they're saying, I don't have time, this is where we have to figure out what kind of timing issue is it? Is it a capacity issue? Is it a timing issue? Or do they not understand the value we have to offer by them taking some time to build a business? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay. So what I like to ask them, y'all, is, hey, if you had endless amounts of time in your day, would you be building a business with me? Or is there something else maybe holding you back? Right? That can help you to understand what really is holding them back. I often will use feel, felt, found, y'all, when they give me a timing issue and it really is a capacity issue. I'll say, oh my gosh, I feel you. I was a full-time working speech therapist, full caseload, which means I was bringing paperwork home, had a son at the time, solo parenting. I mean, I was doing it all. And yet, what I found is I didn't need extra time, right? I just needed a little bit of discipline. So that meant I wasn't binge watching Netflix all night long, or I was waking up 30 minutes before my son got up in the morning, right? And so it's just sharing with them what that could look like, right? And really building the value of this is what this is going to do for you and your family, right? To understand why this is worth their time. All right. And then when you handle objection, you always ask their thoughts. Tell me your thoughts now. What kind of things are you thinking about right now, right? Understand how they're feeling after you handle the objection. Okay. So what we want you to know about time is it's not always they don't quote unquote have time. It's just they're like, help me to understand why it's even worth my time. Right. Or they may feel like they're too busy. All right. If they are saying to you, here's the next objection. I don't have social media presence, or I don't have social media presence like you, right? This is where I'm going to say, hey, in fact, when I started my business 3 years ago, I maybe posted on social media once a week, max. And it wasn't a great post, right? It was a random picture of something, maybe something I reposted. So what we want people to understand, y'all, is social media is a tool, right? And it can help us reach unlimited people. And in fact, you don't quote unquote need social media to be successful, but it can help speed up the process, right, of building your business. But what matters the most is personal connection, right? So that can be in person. That can be in the lunch break room. That can be outside when all the teachers are sitting on the benches watching the kids at recess. That can be over text message. That can be over the phone. So you don't necessarily need social media. And back it up with third-party validation. We've had a teacher on our team, and she replaced her teaching income within 6 to 8 months of doing this word of mouth. She had no social media account whatsoever. So when you can add in third-party validation, y'all, that's going to be very helpful. And again, hey, I would love to hear your feedback on this. What are your thoughts now? Okay, going hand in hand, another objection about social media is, oh gosh, I just have such a small network. right? You guys, this is a lot of times masked as a lack of belief in their self, right? They really don't think they can do it. So they're like, oh gosh, I don't have enough people to talk to, right? When really they're like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. Could I do this well? And so this one, I like to say, hey, me too. I had a really small network before Plexus. In fact, true story, y'all, I purged almost all my friends, had less than 200 friends when I first got started with Plexus. And here's the thing that you'll share with people, y'all, is it's a simple skill set, right? We can help anyone expand their networks. And the fun thing is they're going to have access to the whole world. They're going to have access to the endless amounts of people. And you can share too, you guys, if you've built with people from your cold market, or you've met some of your closest friends because you've tapped into expanding your network, share that with them, right? That's exciting. And then again, followed up with, what are your thoughts now? Okay, another one we hear is, oh, that market, it's so saturated. Everyone knows about Plexus, right? Do you ever get that one? So this tends to be masked in a lack of belief in network marketing, right? They're just like, oh, I don't know if that thing's going to work out. And this is what I like to say is actually less than 2% of the world has heard of Plexus before. So we're not saturated. We're just getting started. In fact, we're only in a few countries, and we are going to be a legacy company. We're going to be the household name that everyone has. And then again, back it up, y'all, with some third-party validation. So Celeste, y'all know Celeste. She lived in the same town that like 9 of her diamonds, they all went to the same school. And they recruited people probably starting from their warm networks in that same town, and then they branched out, right, y'all? So again, we're talking about being able to expand our network, and it's a simple skill set that they can learn. Okay, ask them their thoughts. Okay, another one that I love getting. Oh, I've tried other MLMs and I failed. Okay, so disclaimer, kind of what Michelle was saying. Now, there are going to be some people that come to you who, quote unquote, they've tried other network marketing companies, and you have to kind of sit back a second before you're like, oh my gosh, you need to do Plexus with me. And you need to think, why don't I think she was successful? Does she have integrity? Do I think she could be a hard worker? Would she be someone I like and I want to work with? Like, why wasn't she successful? Maybe she didn't have support. Maybe she didn't have the right products, right? Whatever it is. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to say to that. All right. So then I will say, hey, so many people have said the same thing. And here's what I've found is Plexus is different than any other company out there. We have life-changing products that people need, and they're consumable, which means people continue to order them every single month because they're going to run out. Also, they're not age specific, they're not gender specific, and we don't have to hold inventory. We don't have to throw parties if we don't want to. The startup fee is less than a few cups of Starbucks coffee. Like, I could go on and on and on. We don't have a specific quota each month. So you just spam them with the things as to why Plexus is so different than any other company out there. You can talk about the comp plan, right? So many different things. And then I like to say, there's a reason why we're one of the fastest growing teams out of all of the corporate company, right? We have the best leadership, the best support, and you're going to receive it along the way. And you're going to quickly see why people may not make a dime in another company, but they do with Plexus. And this, again, is where I'm going to back it up with third-party support. I have 2 girls on my team who came from other network marketing companies. One's makeup, one is working out-ish. And I would just share their story like, hey, so-and-so on my team, she felt the same way, and she's now making a 6-figure income, or she quickly climbed the ranks, whatever it is, right? So back it up with stories. And you can say, my friend, it doesn't have to be on your team, right? And so I think that's all I had to say about that. And then again, what are your thoughts? Get them to open up and share a little bit more. Okay, Michelle, passing it over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, April. Okay, so this one I wanted. I don't want to have anything to do with an MLM. I think they're slimy. And you know why I love that one? Because that was me. And this goes hand in hand with, I was never going to be that girl. And this is how I handle that. And really, again, of course, lack of belief in network marketing. And I can say, you know what? I know exactly how you feel. And all of you on this call can say, you know what? You remind me so much of my friend Michelle. I did not want to have anything to do with a network marketing company. And actually, I had tried a couple in the past and lost money. And I had a couple bad experiences. But, you know, what I've learned is I studied the business model. And what I've found is that this is one of the best industries on the planet. And there's a reason why it's one of the fastest growing industries on the planet. And now having the understanding of the way it should be done, but rarely is, but Plexus does, I am shouting it from the rooftops. And I'm the second highest rank in the company, taking as many people with me to the top as I can. And here's the deal. I mean, have you ever been to a bad restaurant? Of course, we've all been to a bad restaurant, right? The food was bad, the service was bad, and we've all been to a good restaurant, right? Of course. Well, you don't stop going to restaurants because you had a bad experience or because you don't care for fast food. It doesn't mean you just throw every restaurant out. You just decide which restaurants to go to. And in every profession, you know, there's good and there's bad. There's good doctors, bad doctors. There's good lawyers, bad lawyers. You just figure out which ones you want to go to and which ones have the integrity and the staying power. And I found that one. And here's what I also want to tell you. As much as you can use tools, like April said, third-party validation, the better. And I will say to them, you know, I made a video. It's about 11 minutes long. I tried to make it shorter, but I couldn't because there's so many amazing reasons why network marketing is so powerful. If I sent that to you, would you watch it? Because I would really love your feedback. I would really love your thoughts on it. And I systematically go through, like, for 10 and a half minutes, why network marketing is so incredible. And I suggest each of you watch that, and then you can speak directly to their color motivation. If it's somebody who's yellow, I will speak. Network marketing is such an amazing industry because it's literally a people helping people industry. The more people I help, the more my business grows. If it's a red, I will say, I have no income cap and my business will grow exponentially by how many people I can develop. You know, if it's a blue, network marketing is so great because we have trips, we have fun, we have incentives. I'm on the dance floor at every trip. Do you see what I mean? If it's a green, I will say you need to look at our comp plan because it is by far the most generous comp plan in network marketing companies. And I've yet to see someone look at our comp plan and not join us as a business builder. And so you have that kind of data you can give to them. Okay, I don't want to be that person. Well, same kind of thing. You know what? I felt the same way. But you know what I found? I was really just thinking of, no, let me phrase it this way. I was that person. I never wanted to be that person. It was just, I didn't understand network marketing. And I'm so glad that God knows greater than I do, because I am so proud that I am that person. I am that person that gets to help tired moms get their life back. I am that person that's helping people get out of debt. I am that person that's helping people realize their dreams. I am that person that helps unlock people's potential. I'm that person that is enabling people to change everything for their families. And I'm helping others equip and create the life of their dreams. It is the most amazing feeling knowing that I'm going to bed fulfilling my purpose each night. I'm so glad that I'm now that person. Tell me your thoughts. Do you see you're switching the narrative? Okay, raise your hand if you've heard this one. I want my own results first. We've all heard that, right? And I say, you know what? I know, and what they're saying is, I need belief in the products. That's what they are saying. I need to know these things work. I'm not just selling slimy snake oil. Okay. Belief in the products. I know exactly how you feel, and I was exactly the right way. And honestly, that's another reason why you would be great at this, because you are full of integrity and character, and you want to believe in what you're promoting. And I was exactly the same way, right? Because you won't do what you don't believe in, and you will put your heart into what you believe in. And that's what's going to make you so successful. And here's what I found. It's kind of like being a real estate agent. Real estate agents don't have to live in every house before they know it's a great house for somebody else. You just have to know what their needs are and how what you have matches and is the solution for their needs. And what I found as I learned about the products, most of the health issues that we deal in this country go back to the same three root issues: blood sugar imbalance, poor gut health, and inflammation. And that's exactly what our products address, which is why it looks like Plexus is helping everybody with everything except folding the laundry. Thank you, Brittany, for that statement. And that's why I want to shout it from the rooftops. And what's even more exciting is that most people don't go to bed at night worried about their health. They go to bed worried about money. And Plexus is an answer to both. You have something on your hands that can help most of the people around you. So, and you know what? People have probably already come to your mind, because that's what happens to most people on your team. Who's come to your mind already? What are your thoughts about this? See how you flip the switch? You've now created them to be a problem solver, okay? Building their belief in the products. Okay, I'm an introvert. I just couldn't do what you do. Clearly, I can't use feel, felt, found on that one, but I kind of can. You know what? I understand that thought. And I used to think that extroverts had the upper hand when it came to network marketing, but here's what I've found. We actually have every personality type, every Enneagram number, every introverts and extroverts at the top of the company. Every size, shape, color, personality. And what I have found is network marketing is just a simple set of skills that anybody can learn. Only 20% of this business is skill, 80% is mindset. And actually, what I've come to discover is introverts actually have an upper hand in this business, because their natural inclination to observe, to think, to discern, to analyze. One of my best friends and my sponsor is an introvert, and she's one of the top diamonds in the entire company. And some of the tippy top leaders, Brooke Hemingway, Jessica Heffley, they're all introverts, and their natural inclination helped them in building a crazy successful business. So you actually have an upper hand. Tell me what you think about that. So do you see how flipping the script and answering them and then inviting them with a question continues the conversation? Because just because you handle it doesn't mean that they've overcome it. I love the way April talked about that. Okay, so we did objections. So now that you've got them, we're going to switch gears a little bit. And now you've got the conversations going. We want to talk about, well, you know what? I'm just going to let April talk about this. We're going to switch gears, and I'm really excited for you, because the quickest way to, the quickest way to build influence with people is to add value to them. And your social media account, it may be one of the best ways that you can be adding value to people. And we've got an in-house corporate-wide expert to teach us how to do that. And I'm excited to learn, and I consistently learn from April in social media. So get your pens and paper ready, because she's going to give us the tricks of the trade.
You're the best, Michelle. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So it was about a year and a half into my business where the Brittany Howard took a look at my social media and said, we've got to make some changes. And we need to do it consistently, right? And y'all, I was willing to do it. And after I did it, I gave it time. And then I analyzed and I tweaked again and I gave it time, and I kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until I had a following, right? And now we're at the point, y'all, where usually on a weekly basis, I have a few people say, I love following your stories. Hey, I saw the recipe you posted. Hey, what are your thoughts on this? Hey, you're potty training your son, right? They're coming back to me, right? And that's what we all want, but it's taking time to get there. So I'm going to give you guys a few of my top social media tips tonight, and we will close out with that. So social media, y'all, what do people want to know through your social media is, does she care about me? Do I like her? And can I trust her? Okay. So the goal with social media is to stop the scroll, right? To get to know similar people, right? We're expanding our networks to solve problems for people in both money, health, and other areas, right? Parenting, personal growth, motivating people to work out, right? And then adding value. So again, like Michelle said, we have to get crystal clear on who we're looking to attract. I'm not looking to attract everyone. In fact, when people unfriend me, that's okay, because I'm repelling away the people I don't want to attract. So I'm looking specifically for mamas. Almost my whole network, they're moms. Military spouses a lot of the times. They're hardworking, they're Jesus lovers, right? So make sure you take some time to think about who you want to attract. And just like a brick and mortar store, y'all, they don't get to choose whether or not they show up each day, right? The owner goes, unlocks the door, turns off the alarm, flips on the lights, makes sure everything is set for the day. Y'all, we have to be doing the same thing with our storefront. So if you're not posting and you're not in your stories consistently, I wouldn't consider you a business owner. And ouch, that probably hurt. I probably stepped on your toes a bit, but you need to hear it. Social media is a big part of what we do. And if you're not consistently tapping into the things I'm going to share, you're probably a hobbyist. You're probably dabbling, right? And I've been there. I promise you, I've been there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about quote unquote niching down. I don't want you to niche down. Okay, we hear it all the time that if you want to be an influencer, you need to niche down to one thing people will come to your page about. But here's the problem with that. If we niche down too much, we're repelling too many people. So it's okay to niche down to maybe 3 or 4 things, 2 or 3 things, right? And if you're over there thinking, well, what the heck am I niching down to? What I want you to ask yourself is, what could you talk about all day long? Okay, what do people consider you already an expert in? They're probably coming to you asking for advice in these areas, right? Maybe you have to pick up a new hobby. For me, y'all, I'm telling you, when the doctor said, hey, you're going to go gluten-free, I was like, say what? Huh? And then he said, oh, and guess what? You're adding on dairy-free too. And I said, what? But here's the thing, y'all, I knew, ooh, that could be a really good network to tap into. Ooh, they're going to hold me accountable, right? So guess what? At some point in my life, I probably won't need to be dairy-free, gluten-free, but I'll probably continue to do it because why? It's a part of my lifestyle now, right? Just like it's a part of the network that I'm attracting. So think about where you're currently getting traffic on your page. What do you need to do more of? What do you need to do less of, right? Less of the political things, less of the negativity, less of, do you have vulgar language? No, thank you, right? That's not going to attract people. All right. Posting, we have to be authentic to ourselves. Now, if you have been around Plexus Freedom Team for a while, we used to, right? Are you guys ready? We used to take one post and we'd be like, oh my gosh, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Everyone's got it up. Boost, 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 right? We would love it. Like, oh, sweet. Michelle wrote my post today, or Christina got my post today. I'm loving it. But the algorithms have changed. So what happens? It means your post is not seen. Even if you're tweaking a little bit, y'all, because you're like, oh, I tweaked it, I'm good. Nope, the algorithm picks up it's not original. So do yourself a favor and spend 45 minutes of your day and write a post. And here's why. It's authentic to who you are. and who you want to attract. And I'm telling you guys, if you're out there copying and pasting, the problem is when they talk to you in person, they're like, oh, she's a little different than I thought. Or, oh, she said, she doesn't say y'all. Like, that's so weird. It was in her post, right? So make sure that you guys are spending time crafting your own posts. And absolutely, it takes time. Sometimes I spend upwards of 2 hours writing a good post. But do you know what happens? I get people in my inbox. I get people copying it. I get people sharing it, right? I get people asking for advice. That's maybe how I get to know more friends, okay? It's worth your time to spend time writing good content. All right, you need to showcase yourself. Yes, I said yourself. You need to showcase yourself. Pretty pictures. Now, I'm going to step on some toes here. Let's stop filtering ourselves so much, y'all. Again, it's another problem. Presets are great, but when we go and we put a filter also on, when they see us in person, which I've had this happen where I'm like, oh, wow, she looks so different, right? Y'all, you're beautiful the way God made you. Put a preset on and call it good, right? Let's stop erasing things that are there, okay? All right, so make sure you're showcasing yourself, pretty pictures, showcase your family, show your pink drink, right? Not the packaging. Did you hear that? Not the packaging, guys. That's where we get to be called salesy. All right. And we have to change our mindset. Our mindset is, y'all, what do I have to offer others? Versus going to social media and saying, gosh, what can social media give me today? Go in with the right mindset. We are here to serve others. We're here to solve problems. Guys, this is way more than supplements, right? We are literally changing lives. And then we're going to weave in the plexus. It should be part of your life. People should expect to see it on your page, right? Don't puke it. Don't get too sciencey. Don't get salesy where you're like, oh crap, I totally forgot to put a post up. So I'm going to take a quick picture of my bag of pink drink and sale, right? Get my pink drink for less than I can get it, right? We have to be so careful that we're not being salesy. And then y'all, be compliant. Be compliant. And here's the thing, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, is my post compliant? Go in your virtual office. There's a little area in your virtual office that talks about compliance. And it's important. Here's the thing. Do you know why? Because as you're casting all these business seeds, which we've been talking about, and you're having these new people pop up and they're going to go model what they see. So if they're like, oh, but she always puts it up, you're going to now have a non-compliant team. And y'all, we're here for the legacy business, right? We're here because we want to follow the rules. We want to be around long term. So make sure you understand what you should and should not be posting. All right, story tell, tap into the emotions. Guys, tell what happened. Help others to be able to relate. Help them to say, gosh, she is literally writing the story of what happened last week for me, or, oh my gosh, I totally feel this, right? Guys, the more vulnerable you are, the more people start to follow you. But there's a fine line between someone who is going through a hard time. I'm thinking when I post about our miscarriages, it's hard, right? It's dark, it's messy, it's sad, but you want to be that overcomer, right? You want to be overcoming it. There's a difference between being stuck and being vulnerable and being bitter. And I'm overcoming this. This is hard and messy and it hurts, but I'm overcoming it. Because what you don't want to attract, y'all, is a team of victims. Hear me out. Okay. All right. If you're sitting here right now thinking, I have nothing to offer people, like I sit there and I think all day long, What the heck am I going to post about? It is time you start growing yourself, right? Tap into personal growth. There's so many times where I'm reading my Boundaries for Kids book, or our book study book, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to write a post now, right? Or you need to go get a hobby on purpose, right? Go do something. There's times where I'm like, I'm going to go do this with my boys because it's going to be great content, right? Can you believe that? I sometimes plan ahead saying, I'm going to go do this so I have something to put in my stories today. All right. The big E. The big E. What do you guys think it is? So it is not enough to show up just consistently on your social media, just adding value. Can you believe it? Guys, yes, Syra, I'm not surprised that you're the one that got it first. You have to engage. Guys, social media is noisy, it's busy, it's loud, it's crowded, and everyone and their mother is selling things, right? Everyone is. So you have to purposefully engage with people. Let them know that you care about them. And here's the thing, guys, we're not leaving comments like, hope you had a great Monday, or, oh, super cute picture, right? Because everyone else leaves those comments. And I've had to learn, because my personality type with the blue wants to be like, oh my gosh, so fun, right? But I had to think of like, what are good thought-provoking questions where she'd be like, oh, that was really kind of her. Or, oh my gosh, I love the question she asked in my post, right? Be genuinely curious about people. They love to talk about themselves. Okay. My little tip with happy birthdays, don't post it. You guys have heard this. Don't post it on their wall. Go in their messenger and end in a question. Happy birthday, Felicia. I hope you have the best day. What do you have planned for today? You better believe that's my exact message I send out with lots of emojis. Okay. Be encouraging people to respond to you. All right, the other E is expand your network daily, guys. Daily. We have some fun things coming up. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, we have some fun things coming up. And if you're not currently expanding that network and you have that funnel full, oh my goodness, you better write it on your to-do list and start doing it now. Okay, expand your network daily. What does this look like? Maybe it's suggested friends. Now, I'm not going to be the person to click, add. Oh no, I'm going in, I'm clicking. Could we be friends? Could she be someone I like? Right? Everyone needs the products, but I'm also thinking long-term here. Okay. Leave good comments in mommy groups and then friend a few people, not all of them, guys. Learn from my mistake. I almost got kicked out of a group early on because I accidentally added all the admins as friends. True story. Don't do what I did. Or this is my favorite. I've been looking on my church Facebook page for some great comments. And a lot of times they're from mamas. All right. Stories. I can't preach about stories enough. Every single day, consistency is key. Make sure it's uniform with what you're posting. Okay. People get used to what you add typically to your stories. So if they're like, she always adds a gluten-free recipe, or she's always on her Peloton, they're going to come and look for me, right? So be that person they want to look for. And you guys, this is really interesting. Stories are often where people decide if they want to keep you as friend. So they're your cold market newer friend, and they're like, okay, I'm going to Rachel's stories. Oh, I like her. We could totally be friends. Or, oh, interesting. She's super salesy. Or, oh, I'm not really sure what that's a picture of, right? Guys, we have to make sure the content is good in our stories. All right. Do not start your stories with Plexus. Hello. Why? Because people are just going to swipe by. But if you add value first, you are helping them to earn the right to share Plexus, right? You're earning the right to share Plexus by adding value first. And then guess what? You've gotten their buy-in and they're like, oh, cool. She posted her pink drink. What is that? They're curious because they bought into you earlier in your stories. Okay. Show how easy it is to incorporate Plexus, guys. They don't want to see the salesy pictures or the gut health stuff, guys. I'll be honest. They don't want you typing up a bunch of different slides with random women. They want to see you mixing your pink drink. They want to see you in the carpool line making your lean shake super fast. They want to see you. Why? Because they can easily picture and say, gosh, I can mix up a pink drink too. Gosh, I could be swinging on the swings, drinking a pink drink with my son too. Oh, I could be on the Peloton with my active, right? Guys, stop spending so much time reinventing the wheel and just show them how you mix up your pink drink, right? All right. Again, stories should be consistent with your niche and your posts. Use the polls and questions, you guys, to increase the engagement level. Use a mixture of photos and videos. Try to keep it uniform with your presets. I think the most important thing I want to say to you guys is specifically what I just said about your stories. You don't need to be spending hours making these perfectly typed up, written with graphics. They literally want to see, how can this fit into my lifestyle? And I'm not kidding. So many people are open to hearing Plexus, y'all, because they say, yeah, I saw you mix up your pink drink the other day. Or what do you always have when you're on the Peloton, right? They're curious by nature. And I'm kind of leaving them in the dark, right? I'm making them wonder. So your homework is, we didn't leave you with a homework packet. We're going to give you that sheet. Okay, it's going to go in the group, but you're going to go analyze your social media tonight or tomorrow. And y'all look at what you're doing good. Look at what you're not doing so good. And here's what I want you to do is stop basing your level of success off of how many likes and comments you have. It is false. It is not true. Y'all, there's so many times where I'm in the inbox and they're like, I just love that post you had up the other day. Like, we're going back and forth. I'm like, but she didn't love it or comment, right? Guys, don't base your social media and the success of your business off of likes and comments. Now, if you want your likes and comments to go up, you're going to have to engage, add value, show up, repeat. Right? It takes time. And you guys, it will help your business multiply if you tap into what I shared with y'all tonight. So that's all I have. One last thing, you also could analyze who is watching your stories and then specifically go and follow them and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for checking out my pink drink video today. I totally needed it. My boys were driving me nuts. Is there anything you could relate with? Or do you have any current health goals? Or thank you so much for showing me support. Have you heard of Plexus? There's ways you can use your stories to follow up intentionally. So that is all we have tonight, you guys. Like Michelle said, what matters with the mastermind is what you go and consistently implement. Guys, it's a matter right now of if you're willing. You, my friend, are either going to spring forward, and we are expecting a lot of y'all at Ruby Retreat ranking up, or you're going to continue in your same pattern, but that is up to you of whether or not you choose to take the information we shared and go and implement it consistently. So we hope you guys enjoyed the last 4 weeks as much as we did. Good night, y'all.